What's up, sports fans? I'm Rene Garza Jr.,
And I'm Freddie Guevara.
and welcome to another episode of Tailgate 956, a show that covers sports across the Valley and the Lone Star State. Now, before we begin today's episode, here's a shout out to our sponsors. Apogee Comics, the best in independent comic books. If you're looking for a great read, make your next comic book Apogee. Visit Apogee Comics all throughout social media and on their website at www.apogeecomics.com.
And Rick's Auto Shop for all your auto repair needs.
Located on Indiana Street in Brownsville. Now, my brother, how you been, man? How you been now, Freddie?
Sad, depressed.
So was that depressed? Blood pressure high?
Everything is high.
Yeah, I feel you too.
Except my bank account. That's all negative.
You could say we're $1 million shy of being a millionaire, am I right? But yeah, well, yeah, you gotta bring a little humor to our sadness. Well, it's been a rough week for Texas sports as of late, yeah, especially when it comes to our UTRGV baseball team. Yeah, with the doubleheader against Tarleton State, they lost out in the series, but in the doubleheader, they did win with 5-3 runs. But you know what? When it comes to those kids, like they play phenomenal. It's amazing the way they go out there and leave it all on the field.
I kind of feel like it's a rotation that they're having problems with. I feel like they need they're not used to it, or it messes them up. Sometimes coaches want to try rotations a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that's kind of messing them up.
Yeah, no, I agree. We were talking about that too, actually, that, you know, it is pretty much the rotation. You know, we can tell. We could tell from those two games, the first of the doubleheader and the last one that they had, like, you know, the day afterwards.
Correct.
That it's a rotation. They're just giving other players more time to bloom into better ball players out there.
And sometimes even resting, because like I like even seeing those games is just like, you know, they're very tough. They're a tough team. I'm surprised. I was surprised at those games.
Oh yeah, in like injuries it's rough. Especially in baseball, and a lot of rules have changed.
And I mean, you know, having more injuries, you know, you have to protect your others. All the other players that, you know, you need to save for the end of the season.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, definitely. You want to save them consistent, and you don't want injuries, especially when it comes to pitching.
More injuries. Yeah.
And speaking of injuries and pitching and hurting, as you can tell, I'm hurt because because of the Houston Astros. When did it happen that the A's are above the Astros in the standings? When did that happen, man? How?
I have no idea.
I don't understand. I don't understand this. I'm looking at the percentage right now. They're at 391, which is right. Yeah, but the Astros are at 304. Really? Below 500 team? How? How does that happen? How does that happen? Injuries? Yes, that's one factor. That's one factor, and that's where we were going to earlier with the UTRGV when it comes to pitching.
Yes.
A lot of injuries have happened when it comes to the top pitching, and you can see that because the last game that they had, Verlander pitched, and they did phenomenal. They won that game against the Nationals. They ended up losing the other two because they had a rookie pitchers coming in. They're calling up pitchers, and I feel that they're calling them too early, and that's costing us games.
You feel like the pitching is the main deal, the main cause.
I understand the fact that you want to bring pitchers in and show them, you know, welcome to the show. But if they're not ready and they're too green, you're going to cost the team, you know, standings and games, valuable games that later on will come back and haunt you and hurt the team.
Well, look, I mean, like I know we were talking about a little bit about this earlier. Look at the Cowboys. Look at right now their draft picks. How it's affecting them from having four to three consecutive successful seasons, regular seasons games. Yeah. Their draft picks, it messes them up. It also it doesn't work in their favor. Having successful year after successful after year is regular season. Exactly. Do you think that maybe it is a way for them to, make it like a rebuilding year for them to go ahead and try to go ahead and get players next year, or to try to go ahead and make this year like a helpful rebuilding year for next year?
No, because if that was the case, the players that they got under contracts again, they wouldn't have reinstated them. Honestly, I feel it's the injuries of the pitchers, and it's due probably to the pitching clock. Yeah, they made it shorter.
Yeah,
which is causing pitchers to throw in faster and earlier on, and they could tweak an arm or two. Yeah, and also calling up players from the AAA up to the main stage, and because they're too green. Let me ask you this. When it comes to bananas, do you eat them green or do you eat them when they're ripe and yellow?
Well, I like to eat my bananas many different ways, but in a banana split, the best.
Well, let's see. Do you put the bananas when they're not ripe green in your banana split? Let me ask you that.
No. We don't like them when they're green.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No.
And in the same case goes with the Astros. You know what I mean? Like, if they're not ready to go up to the show and you've seen it and all that, I understand you want to give them more time. But if they're not ready, don't call them up. Don't call them. I understand the injuries and all that. It's a factor, and it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
But right now, it's crucial to get those wins going. Like, call them up when you're at double digits, or like with are already you know what, we're doing good. Let's call up some other players, some relief pitchers. Don't start them off. Like what was it? JP France. I know he's like so he led. I think like the last couple of games so far, he's let 26 runs go by him already. And he's starting tonight against the Cubs.
It's not a good start.
He's starting against the Cubs, and you know what? The Cubs right now, their standings at the Cubs right now in the National League, they're 13-9, and you know where we're at right now? We're in last place with 7-16.
I think that's the hardest pill to swallow. I think that's the hardest pill to swallow. Being last place. Come on, we cannot be in last place.
No, not only that. Having the A's be above us. That's what hurts more as a national. That's what hurts more. You know what I mean? And then
as a fan or to you?
Both as a fan and as a me. Both. But you know what though? I'm not a bandwagon riding fan.
No, we still,
as you can tell, I rock
behind
my team. I rock the colors. I support the team.
Still love them. You just breaking our heart.
Win or lose. I'm still last. That's why I'm passionate when it comes to the way they've been playing.
Yes. We're telling you this for your own good.
Yes, it from a fan's perspective, it's been frustrating.
Yes.
It's been frustrating.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think the hardest pill to swallow is like when you see your team like at last place. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Because you know they can do better. And the way they've been talking throughout the whole season, like it's been good. And you can see that they're good when they go up against last year's champs, the Texas Rangers. They've been neck and neck. They've been neck and neck. And you know what? That's what I'm saying. It's the pitching. It's the pitching and the rotation that they're having issues with.
And although, I mean, not very successful and very, I wouldn't call it awesome, but at least, I mean, yes, they're in top place right now in their division right now, but they're 12 games and 12-11, man.
That's not good. Don't think I forgot about you, Rangers. No. I'm going into you as well too.
Yeah, other divisions have 10 games, 16-9,
The Guardians are 16-6.
Oh man,
their average is 727.
Yeah.
The Astros are 304, and the Rangers are at 522. Come on, for that, the Rangers as last year's World Series champ, was it a fluke? What's going on? Yeah. What's going on? These guys should not have that kind of average right now at 12-11. That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. They 11. It's a horrible right now to this season and all that. That same thing for the Astros. 7-16.
Yeah.
16 so far
with those games with that record. You can easily be bumped down and pass to second, third place and drop down. Just trickle.
It's still a long season, and hopefully, as they say, as they say, business picks up. I hope hopefully though. But so far, it's been a rough one. It's been a rough, and those that have been following us, I've been posting a lot of painful scores. The painful score. A lot more pain than joy. I'll tell you that much.
Now let me tell you this. What is one thing, if you would have the ability to go ahead and tell them, hey, make one change for next game, just one change to change the outcome, what would you make? What change would you make?
I would not call up pitchers that aren't ready to go.
Well, I mean, I guess
even if you want to give them time to shine, wait, just wait, pretty much. Yeah, I understand there's injuries. It's like a last effort, but it's rough. It's rough. And Javier Garcia, he recently got injured in 15. He's been doing great. Verlander's back and all that. I think Framber Valdez, I'm actually hoping he comes back. And there's one guy that I wasn't really confident with to begin with, but I know he does a lot better than the other guys that they've been having pitching.
How about changing the lineup? Do you think that would help any bit?
But that's what I mean. Like changing the line, change the batting average. Like I said, that the rotation, the way the batters go about it, I feel that there's some batters that can get on base, such as Peña, who's having a better season than he did last season. But if I'm confident enough that he can get on base, he can. Abreu, he's been doing horrible as a first baseman, and I think this game they're actually going to bench him, and I think that's a good thing, which sucks because it turns out his trade was a bust. I don't know what happened. He has a hard time starting off the season, or maybe this is what he needs to get his butt back in gear.
Yeah,
because last year was the same thing. Everyone thought he was a bust, and out of nowhere he just caught fire and started batting dingers, and as a first baseman, catching them. Look at Kung Fu movies, like back, catching them. But this year he's like his mind's somewhere else. He ain't in the game. I don't know where he's at. That's for sure.
Or maybe you just need to warm him up, or maybe like you said, maybe teaching him a lesson on benching him.
Yeah.
Bench him for a little bit and get him scared on that. Like hey, trade you or get somebody else or see what happens. But maybe they need to scare him a little bit.
I know when it comes to playing last year's champs, the Rangers, some of those losses, like 4 of those losses, are because of the Astros. And here's what I go saying. That shows that they can get it together. Yeah. But it's just the pitching that's hurting them.
I mean, they're number 1 in the division right now, and they beat them.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, exactly.
So
I feel that right now it's just injuries and calling up players too early and rotating the dugout. That's what they need to work on. They need to do that, and I feel that they can catch up and do way better and put the A's back where they belong, in last place.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, get it together. Same thing goes with you Rangers. Even though I'm more of an Astros, but it's okay. Texas team, you guys do a lot better.
Andale.
Come on. And I hope tonight JP fans proves me wrong.
Successful game today.
Well, I hope so too. And I hope a lot of Astros fans out there. But before we go on to the basketball side of things, B-ball. Here's another shout out to our sponsors. Apogee Comics, the best in independent comic books. If you're looking for a great read, make your next comic book Apogee. Visit Apogee Comics throughout social media and on their website at www.apogeecomics.com.
And Rick's Auto Shop for all your auto repair needs.
Located on Indiana Street in Brownsville. Now, when it comes to the B-ball of things courts.
Like just like baseball, it was a tough week. I mean, look at the Dallas Mavericks. They lost their first game of the series. I'm not too worried. We're still tonight's second. I mean, it wasn't that much. It wasn't like a huge gap. It was double digits, but it wasn't that huge. So hopefully they can get their stuff together. I don't know what happened because I really did expect a W on that first game.
That's what surprised me. You're gonna lose to Harden.
Yeah,
really, the James that nappy beard, like that nasty beard. That just aggravates me.
That beard,
that dry, crusty beard. And LA, come on, Dallas, come on, guys.
Yeah, I honestly very shocked. Honestly, very shocked. But you know what? Maybe it's a strategy. You know, let them think that we can actually beat them, and then sweep the rug right underneath. Because I mean, Luka. I mean, again, he still averaged 30 some odd points, 36 points, I believe that night.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't understand.
He's having an amazing season.
Yeah.
And they lost. I expected a dub. I expected a dub,
especially having the top scorer in the NBA. I mean, you know, come on. I really did it. I don't know. You know, Luka needs some help. I don't know, but I kind of think that maybe it's. I'm hoping it's a strategy. I really would think that we'll see more tonight. We'll see. Go ahead and see. We can able to tell. Hey, is this what's going on? Is the Clippers found? You know, I don't know, the kryptonite to Mavericks or what? Or they have a game plan really, because honestly I don't expect a second win from second loss from Mavericks.
Oh no, especially from that Luka magic, or maybe the Clippers found that anti-spell to that Luka's magic.
I mean, if they win this game, I think they did, because I do not expect another loss from the Mavericks.
No, nobody expected that. Not against them. Nobody expected that. Everyone thought we thought too that the Mavericks were going to have this win easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We're going to be like, oh no, it's Harden, you know, and they're going to choke, and Kawhi, they're going to choke, you know. Nope.
I think the toughest thing is that like Luka did his job and he did the same thing, and then they still lost. That's what kind of worries me, because he still had his good game, he still had it, and then they lost. So I'm just hoping that, you know, other players pick up that the slack that was left behind in game one, and you know his teammates need to put it together, and you know, and see, because it's not Luka, man. It's not Luka. It's not Luka.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Now hopefully, like I said earlier, business picks up for them, and pretty much, hey, all the points and all the amazing seasons you have, and just to burn out so easily, like come on.
Yeah,
my Mavericks, you got this. Like, I'm confident enough that they will win this game. I think it's gonna go down to the wire when it comes to the Clippers and Mavericks.
Honestly, without like being a fan, like not being because it's a Dallas team, you know, or I mean a Texas team, but seriously, they need to be at least the finals, in the finals. Because they're one of the like the toughest teams to. They're one of the teams to beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of them up there, so I really do expect them to go up there.
Yeah. No,
especially like I said with Luka there with the top score. I mean, come on, man. 37 average points a game. Sheesh, come on, man. Come on.
Definitely. And like I said, like I'm pretty sure like they'll win this series out like that. Like that's me not being biased. That's me just seeing like the way they've been playing this season, the way they stayed on top of like, you know, top team.
They should. Yeah, they should. They should definitely win this series.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope they don't do the same as the Vipers.
Yeah.
That was like, honestly, I did not expect that from them either. But you know, still we gotta, you know, more next season.
Yeah. You know what? But you know what? Like it showed solidified the way, you know, going into Houston and going to the Vipers and all that. It shows how solid they are as a team.
No,
like, you know,
definitely.
And I know they extend the contract of his name escapes me right now, of the coach from the Houston Rockets, which is great because it honestly shows that something's working in Houston.
No, definitely. I mean, I think that it's there. They just need to work a little bit around it. And I mean, you know, they had a great start of the season, middle of the season, and just in between those. I
think it's because they let too many fouls. They committed too many fouls. That's I think that's where it occurred. A lot more. Well,
their injuries hurt them a lot too,
and injuries they helped them back a lot too.
And the second part of the season, their injuries really helped them because the people that stepped up really good.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
and I mean, you know, it's a strong team when the bench picks up the slack.
A lot of the bench players picked up that those games, man. They went on a streak too after that. So I mean, you know,
and you know which team was like that as well when the bench warmed up? The San Antonio Spurs at one point. Although this season,
not this season,
they all decided to take a coffee break together and be like, peace. Although according to Coach Popovich, apparently, losing wasn't part of the game plan. Come on. I feel like he said that with a wink to the camera, trying to get draft picks for a point guard.
That reminds me of Jerry sometimes.
San Antonio's all in. I'm just waiting for him to say that too. Tim Duncan be like, "Oh, I'm back in the fold."
No, they're all the way out. That's what they are. I mean, they're out completely. They were out just like probably halfway to the season, man.
Yeah. And you know what? As soon as the season was over, in certain teams such as the Golden State Warriors, like we were talking about those hurtful rumors, those like fearful rumors, like Chris Paul wanting to join the Spurs or whatever. I'm like, oh man,
no.
Keep that jinx away. Any team that guy's with, they choke. Although I'm not saying that the Spurs had an amazing season this year, because they choked well enough by themselves.
they did well by themselves. Yeah. they can do bad all by themselves.
Exactly. They don't need help. They don't need that mess. No, sir. They don't need that mess here. No, they don't.
We don't need to keep going into the negative.
Yeah. But when it comes to that, whoa. I gotta say, keep that jinx away from the team. That's for sure.
So, maybe we got the bullet right there.
Yeah. There was a certain draft pick that they get, like that I was hearing about for them getting. It's one that I was talking with the other day. Actually, I think I reminded you of that. What's his name? His name escapes me at the moment. There it is. Rob Dillingham. Yeah. Like a source to me was telling me that this cat can ball. He can ball, and he's already up for the draft picks. So if that's the case, the Astros. See how frustrated I am with the Astros. The Spurs need to keep their eyes open on this cat.
And what is he, a guard?
A point guard.
Well, I mean, they definitely. I mean, that's perfect fit because it's San Antonio's Spurs. Dude, I would say that's what they need to focus on the guard.
No, definitely
on a guard. I mean, they got the wings, they got the back, they got the rebounds right there with Victor, he's doing phenomenally. I mean, honestly, a guard would be a great asset to him being there. Like them, having a good guard would definitely be.
And even at that, what I've also been reading as well too, and in which I don't know how to feel about that. Bronny James, LeBron's son, supposedly says like he showed interest in coming to Texas, but I honestly think LeBron ain't gonna let him. Like, he'd probably be like, "You need to come over here and play with me."
For a fun fact, LeBron is a Dallas Cowboys fan. LeBron James is a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Oh, that is true.
So, that could explain why the son wants to play for a Texas team. Yeah. And not only that, look at the Texas team. Look at the Mavericks. Look at the Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
And look at the Spurs. Yeah. They all have. The Spurs had a bad season, but look at the history of success. Hey, you were with the Spurs. Still big. It's still big name.
No, I know we joke around.
No.
I know we joke around the Spurs, and the only reason we're joking around is because they had a horrible season, and they know they had a horrible season.
Of course.
Even they know they had a horrible season.
It's not that surprising that you would want to go to one of those three teams. It'll be awesome. Why not? Hey.
Wait.
First, hold on. Can he ball?
He can ball. He can ball. Yes. That and it takes a lot for me because I'm not a fan of LeBron James, but I know his son can ball. Yeah. Okay, he can ball. Yeah, I give him that. Yes.
Keep the jeans. Just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah. We're part of that generation that people see LeBron as the GOAT. Man, in our generation, it was Michael Jordan. But that's a whole other can of worms to open up when it comes to the GOAT debate in basketball.
Well, the only problem I see is it's not bad to talk and but too much talking sometimes gets you in trouble. You bring too much steam. So hopefully, if he does come to the teams, he just knows when to when and where.
But right now it's still up in the air. It's a lot of he said, she said, and so and so and so. So it's not solid foundation.
No, I hear you.
Of where he might end up.
It's like what the Manning. I forgot his first name. I think it's Aaron Manning. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's still a freshman in college. He's a big prospect right now. Everybody's taking a look at him. There is a little rumor that he wants to come over here, but in the Texas side. But we'll go ahead and see from there. But yeah, that's a good prospect. No, in football, and he's just like that, I guess. Yeah, I've heard much about it, but yeah, how old? Well, where is he playing right now? High school or he's already college?
Yeah, he's already college ball.
He's college ball.
Yeah. That's why he's already up for the draft.
Wow, he's already this year. He's already up for the draft.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know that.
But there's a lot of speculation, a lot of
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's gonna land somewhere because LeBron, with everything.
Yeah, like I said, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad way. Like he's gonna want to bring him to the Lakers, but at the same time, I think those are big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna want to set his own foundation and set his own,
And to be quite honest with you, honesty, even though LeBron's a big, big name, LeBron, no one's negating what he did, what he does, what he has been, and everything. But some people would say that he still didn't fill those shoes of Kobe. You know what I mean?
Oh no,
you know what I mean.
He did.
In other circumstances, I guess other ways. So it's like you said, it's tough shoes to fill, nonetheless. Whether it's his or Kobe's, the legacy that they leave behind on that team.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think when it comes to the career of LeBron James, as a person who enjoys sports and watches basketball, he couldn't reach the championships that Kobe has achieved or that Jordan has achieved. So he went another route of breaking records, of holding up records that, the most rebounds or the most points in the game or however. So good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. He found some way to make his mark, even though he already had made a mark as a great basketball player.
Yeah.
And a couple of championships under his belt. Yeah.
Correct. No, I mean, you can't take away anything. you respect, where respect
is due. Yeah.
And let's not start the argument who's better.
We can talk until we're blue about
MJ or LeBron. That's an argument.
It's like you don't know me, man. It's like you don't know me.
No, that's why. It's exactly why I said it.
I'm like,
we're gonna be here all night.
Better brew up some Mountain Dew. It's gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be one of those nights. But yeah, well, we'll go ahead and see. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that draft too.
It's gonna be a draft. Yeah,
it's gonna be nice.
It's gonna be a good draft. It's gonna be a good draft. Yeah. So before we go on to the gridiron, here's another shout out to our sponsors. Yeah. Apogee Comics, the best in independent comic books. If you're looking for a great read, make your next comic book Apogee. Visit Apogee Comics all throughout social media and on their website at www.apogeecomics.com.
And Rick's Auto Shop for all your auto repair needs.
Located on Indiana Street in Brownsville. Man, how about them Cowboys?
Well, I feel like Jerry's lying. First of all, going back to
straight up, Jerry Jones is a bald-faced liar.
I guess this week is like, we want Dak. No, I feel like you just you couldn't dump him anywhere, and nobody wanted to take over that load.
Nobody wanted him.
Nobody wanted him. Everybody knows what you got.
It's okay, Dak.
Everybody knows what you got already.
I still like you, Dak. I still like you.
We want you. We want you. We'll trade him next year. We'll dump him next year.
Over his ears, like.
I feel like they were just trying to look around. So like not to look that suspicious. Of course, you get rumors are still gonna fly. Someone's gonna open their mouths, but
a journalist is gonna do their job well enough.
Exactly. I just felt like they couldn't dump him anywhere, and of course he stayed behind the news and him speaking of him getting traded or saying anything like this before for the same reason. Like he stayed quiet so he won't be on the top. Like, hey, we want to trade Dak. You know what I mean? Let's say it out because, and I understand this because if how it did, I believe it did. In my opinion, deals did not go through. He had to stay. He has to stay, and he's gonna have to stay for finish his year. And like that, this confidence can be still like, Jerry can come out saying, you know what, we want Dak, we got him and we have him, dude. That's what we have. To say that, I mean, you don't want to, say, hey, you know what, we didn't want you, and then we had to stay, we got stuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the relationship, to go ahead and keep that relationship clean, I guess that's what happened.
Yeah.
But I felt the lie. Like this time, I felt like it was a lie. I know Jerry wanted to keep him other previous years, but I feel like this year was he had it. Even he had enough.
Yeah, like it's like we said before, and I sound like a broken record. This loss of this past season of the Dallas Cowboys, it was different. It was heavy.
Yeah.
Fans were mad. Players were mad. Were definitely mad because it's their team and all that, because they had it there and they just choked.
Yes, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, there's other things that are, oh my god, now everybody's to Dak's rescue. I mean, everybody's putting out his stat sheet, how good he's doing. He's the number one on sheet of paper, but I mean, honestly, don't remember, right? Everybody did bad. The two top quarterbacks that I thought previously in the previous years was Josh Allen and what's his name from the Bengals? Remind me.
I
forgot his name from Bengals. I forgot his name, but
Mr. Joe Cool.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? They had bad years. One of them got injured.
Oh yeah.
The other one. I have no idea what happened to him. I'm like shocked. I mean, he played so bad that I would understand if they would trade him, but of course, he's very successful, and I believe that they should stick behind him, and that's also good. But it wouldn't have surprised me considering the trades that I've seen with Goff and Stafford. That was ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe that one either. But considering they had the years that they did this year, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they would have traded him. The Bills and Bengals would have traded their quarterback. But of course, they did the right thing, and I agree that they should stick with him. But they had a bad year, and that's why Dak was able to go ahead and do what the stats that he got. And even then, I mean, even then, they don't show you everything. And that was the season record. That was season good stats for it. But what about the playoffs? They don't show you what the playoffs, what he did in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. It goes to how good are stats.
Yeah.
If you can't win. If you can't even win the first round of the playoff or second round of the playoff, if you can't go to the Super Bowl, those stats don't mean squat.
And that's a bad thing.
They don't mean squat.
Even let's say, even if it was the playoff stats, let's go ahead and go with playoff stats. You have the tremendous 3-game, leading to a Super Bowl, dominating numbers. Great, like they should, because you're winning anyways. You're gonna win the game. Obviously most, and then in the Super Bowl you throw 5 interceptions. They're gonna, honestly, it's still gonna make you look better probably than the other quarterback, possibly even, or other quarterbacks that were better or whatever. But they're gonna make you look either way good. But they don't show that one game that was important and you couldn't go ahead and pull through. In this case, it's more obvious because it was a first playoff game. And that's the kind of thing. Another connection that a lot of people defended him is that Drew Brees. The first 8 years, also, he didn't win a Super Bowl. But you gotta also see Drew Brees did not choke in in playoff games, especially not in the first round. He went past rounds, and he had consecutive success. You could see the talent in Drew Brees. You know what I mean? You could see it's like it's like CJ. You can see the talent.
You can see it's even that Josh Allen. Go with the Buffalo Bills side. He can go the distance. And then the results, they didn't go to the Super Bowl.
No, but he just had one tough season.
One tough season.
The year before, he did phenomenal.
Exactly.
Yeah. And within his 8 years, the first 8 years, he has less than that. But I'm just saying, within the 8 years of his career, at least he could say that he already went.
He's gone further in the playoffs than Dak ever could take the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we look into, and that that I'm talking about. Even Drew Brees went further. Also within his first 8 years, yeah, he didn't probably win his first Super Bowl until then. It was later than 8 years, but he did go further in the playoffs, and then not only once or twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least three. I think it was 3 or 4 years that he did make it to the playoffs. His team went into the playoffs, and he went further.
Yeah.
Given I know the Cowboys have gone more to the playoffs, but we choke on the first round too. You know what I mean? And that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. He had more chances, and yet he's blown them already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's gone out of the 8 years. He's gone like 6 times already to the playoffs out of his 8 years, and he's messed up each and single one of those times.
Yeah.
And the only time that they went to the second round is twice, which is one when we got the birth his first year, and then another year in between.
Yeah.
And that's not good enough.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not good.
It's not.
It's not good. It's not good. It's just not. It's not. You can't do that. And I mean, going back to again, people they kind of stopped. I guess because they realized also because they're like, oh, imagine if Dak goes with another team and then the team beats the Cowboys. I'm like, yeah, I expect it. It wouldn't be a surprise. But the reason why we got rid of Dak is because he can't get win with that team that you go with the Super Bowl or at least the first playoff game. Then we'll talk about maybe he's more successful then. Yeah, because the point is that
exactly. Let's say like for example, if the Giants get him. And then the Giants start beating the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I want they beat them. But can they go with the Super Bowl with them?
Exactly. Can they go ahead and go further?
That's the question.
That's the question.
Only the first round and you end up choking.
And give us a break. We're gonna be searching for our quarterback too. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's gonna take time. You don't find a quarterback in 1 year or two. I mean, even before Dak, we were it took I don't know how many quarterbacks to just search, even between when he got hurt too. Yeah. We went through like 3 in less than a year. Yeah. You know what I mean? And 2 of them were pretty big prospects, considering, they were like, ooh, they were gonna go ahead and do, and they flopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's gonna take time, and but you gotta keep that in mind.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to that, I honestly hope that Trey Lance stands out.
Well, I would love to see what he does.
You might say, man, you are stuck on that. But of course, I am stuck on that player.
Well, I mean, at this point, they got nowhere else to go to. But I mean, might as well just use him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should.
Yeah,
they should. Agree. And I don't know why I have that feeling deep in my bones as a football fan that that guy, he is probably the guy.
You really think? I'm not really set on that. I really don't. But I would love to see what he does. I mean, I would love to be proven wrong because I really want. I mean, it's just a shame that he would be with us, and I don't know what he does. And then what could he do?
Well, let me tell you this. Towards the end of Romo's tenure as a Cowboys quarterback, they had Dak, and when Dak started off, he had great. Yeah, he had great. He started off great. I feel none that Trey Lance is going to be the same, but I feel like he's a lot better and will actually possibly take the Cowboys further into the playoffs. I'm not saying Super Bowl bound. That still remains to be seen how he plays.
I mean, it was very rare for
be a lot better. Yeah.
For the first starting and then take him to the Super Bowl. It's very rare for a quarterback to do that, especially not playing that much. Because I still give him he's new, he's fresh because he only played 1 or 2 games and then he got injured. Yeah. So I still count him as a fresh quarterback coming in with a new team, which is the Cowboys, and going all the way. I mean, nobody does that. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't surprise me that he wouldn't. Mm-hmm. But I know you understand what you mean, that he will take him a little bit farther, even a little bit of success. That you can see that that there's success brewing. That's the kind of stuff that you want to see. Yeah. Even throughout the season, you can tell that sometimes you can just see that. Me myself, when I saw Dak the first year, I wasn't sold completely. Everybody was sold. Everybody was the guy. Everybody was back behind him. But I say, you know what? I want to see how he does the second year. And that year, depending on how he does, it's really going to show me what he's got.
Oh yeah.
That's why, because the first year, sometimes a lot of people, you gotta, they don't expect you to play, first of all, because they didn't expect him to play. they don't have film on you.
No.
So I mean, and they don't have time to go ahead and change their whole defense just for you as a quarterback, and that sometimes that does affect the team. Now there is something else that is into that like a variable in this, okay. And that's Romo being on his ear that season. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And Romo is very knowledgeable on defenses. Yeah. So you got that also. I mean, Romo was on his ear telling him what to do. A lot of times, helping him out. At least he was helpful. At least I can at least say. Yeah. So there is that variable also in play too. I'm not taking away anything from Dak from his first year, but that's why I wanted to say, I was like, you know what, I want to see how he does the second, and he had a horrible second season.
I think a lot of other fans agree.
Yeah,
and it's been kind of like that so far.
And it didn't help that's when Zeke also got suspended the first couple of games. So
it was true. Like he did get suspended. That's true.
Yeah. Cooper was the one that picked up the slack, and because of him, we made it into the playoffs. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I mean, there's a lot.
And they ended up trading him to the Browns, but that's a whole other.
That was all Jerry. Yeah, that's one of his tantrums.
I found that out, I'm like, you're like a spoiled kid, Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Why? Just find him, okay?
No. Worse than that, trading him is what we got for him, man. Come on. It's like you literally wanted him to be like, oh, this is like, who's your worth to me? Yeah. But he's at least get your money's back worth.
Your money's worth.
Worth, at least some. That was bad. That is horrible. Like that was a real tantrum. Live tantrum on live air. And on top of that, you can see it through the trade. Yeah. You can see that. That was horrible.
I think as you as a fan and I as a fan and a whole bunch of other people, all fans of our show and other fans like across Texas that are Cowboys fans can agree that Jerry Jones is also a problem for the Cowboys. That when it comes to getting good players, sort of like Derrick Henry, they missed the opportunity to get something great.
I mean, I don't know if we've spoken about this in air. I don't know if I know we've talked about it behind, but I mean, as much as Jerry's a problem, I'm more scared him gone. I'm more scared of him gone.
Okay.
Because
how's that so?
Because his son will replace him, and I really, I mean, I don't know his mentality. I don't know. I don't want to, take away or give anything that I shouldn't, good or bad, representation of him. Mm. But, I will say if he wants to be successful, I would, if that was in his place, I would love for him to go ahead and get, what's it called? Somebody to look after the team, like a chief, a chief to be on top of all the team and make decisions based what's good on the team. Somebody who knows the organization, somebody who's good. Someone like that might be in the fold.
Which, by the way, we still haven't figured what that meant.
Well, let's see. Maybe when Jerry passes, his takes over, maybe we'll understand the fold.
Maybe in the draft, we'll finally realize what the fold is, or all in, or all these little catchphrases that they're throwing around there to distract us from the fact that the Cowboys sucked.
I would love for him to be the chief
free agency.
I would love for him to be the chief of this organization. You know what I mean? The for him to go ahead and lead the decisions and be backing up and hearing his reasons behind everything. Made decisions and all that. I would really love for it. Mm-hmm. I mean, what he did back in the 90s. I mean, 80s. Just awesome.
Oh, it was great. Yeah. Joking aside, yeah, definitely. Maybe he had an input with not getting anyone free agency. Maybe focus on getting a lot of, I've heard that they're looking for other trades for future spots in the draft with other teams to get players, to get, someone good. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, they're gonna have to be real smart about it because, like I said, they only got 7 picks, and this is. It's not looking that good.
No, it's not. It is not.
But at least it looks like they could possibly get a good running back, good top running back.
Yeah.
They were looking at Brooks. I believe Coleman was another one. So we'll go ahead and see. I mean, honestly, they need to pull like something out of the rug from every other team to go ahead and win or be at least successful in the draft, and we need to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, we got great players still in our team.
Yeah,
we still gotta. I still see not a great successful team as we were before, but we still got a lot of stars in our team, and I still feel like success is still there, if not within our grasp.
Yeah.
And this will be a big help. The draft will be a big help.
Oh yeah, no. From what I understood, there was a mock draft recently to see like what the picks they had, and they were all happy. Hey, there's a big difference between a mock draft and the actual draft, because guess what? It ain't Madden, and you're not on campaign season. That's for sure.
No. It's not gonna be the same. That's the thing. That's why they're gonna have to like you said, they're gonna be having to switch
future draft picks. I think that's the route they're going about.
Well,
the future draft picks, because like not getting anybody for free agency, like there's something. There's something going on there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's nothing. Maybe it is a rebuilding season, but at the same time, would you want a rebuilding season with a quarterback you only have one more year with? What did you want to build with somebody already?
And maybe that's the thing. Maybe that they're going about it and rebuilding a little bit at a time, because they don't need a complete rebuild. And a lot of, besides the quarterback being gone, everybody else is good, pretty within their years. And
I agree. So that's why we do lose a lot of players. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. A lot of players went for free agency and they went with other teams. Yeah. Probably because of the frustration of how these past couple of seasons have gone. Flying. Getting close to that and then just getting yanked back and be like, nope.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, it's just a sting behind that. I mean, and a lot of people lost their. Like I feel like Lamb backing up Dak, like that got lost. A lot of respect got lost right there.
Oh yeah.
And I even feel like that's why he kind of held back at the beginning, because he was like he was all for it. He was talking, supportive of staying with the Cowboys at the beginning more, because he kind of felt like Dak might be going somewhere else. And then like when he found out that nope, he's staying. He looked like he's staying. Nobody, grabbing anything. Nobody. There's no bites.
Yeah.
He kind of like you kind of felt like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna go show up to, some practices drills and stuff until we talk about my contract. I kind of felt all that kind of things. All the things were like little stings to go ahead and kind of speak out. To that matter.
Yeah.
That's what, at least my opinion, that's what I felt.
Oh no, you seen Lamb and Dak just clash.
Yeah.
Towards that last game, that was a rough.
Not only the last game, you've played like they had a few clashes even between. They tried to keep it down, but
the thing is, you noticed it a lot more when they're during that Packer game, that last game of the season.
Yes,
you noticed it. So like there's conflict in there already.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: as a coach, as an owner, that's on like towards the end of the line with a quarterback in the contract that you obviously overpaid for.
Mm-hmm.
And what year on the contract is Lamb on?
I don't know. He's also like, this is the last year.
Oh,
but that's why he's talking about
okay. See, that I didn't know about Lamb. Okay,
yeah, that's why he was restructure of his contract because for the same reason.
Well, let me ask you this: if a guy that can't perform, such as Lamb, you would want to keep him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamb has shown that it's because there's contradiction, in me between Lamb. Lamb is a good player.
Yeah.
But I did not like that he got mad because the ball wasn't being thrown to him all the time, or he in the middle. But you see,
that's a little bit of diva attitude. I understand. I understand that. I understand where you're going.
You gotta be a team player.
Yeah.
But I can't. I mean, facts speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That push to throw to Lamb.
Yeah.
And he got successful yardage. He
successful. He backed up his claims.
And after
he
that,
backed up his claims.
The passing yardage for Dak and Lamb were pretty good after that.
Very dynamic duo.
After he complained and he got the ball more. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you can't negate that fact. So as a player, he's good. I just think you need to work more on, hey, yeah, that's fine. You want the ball. Great, I know you can do it, but look, imagine if we work as a team and you know what, you allow for other teams. I mean, you had Cook on the other side. I mean, sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna double team Lamb all the time. Exactly. At least most of the time, if not at least half the time of the game of the throwing passes, they're gonna be covering him double. You have a guy wide open, do it. Go ahead.
That's an advantage. That's an advantage to a certain degree.
And you know what? That speaks for itself. As a receiver, I would take that as, hey, you know what? They double team me because
you're that darn good. You're that darn good.
For my team to leave that guy open.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the only thing that I feel like and I feel like his like family, it still affects what they say. So I mean, stay off social media. That can hurt a team.
Think before you post.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I agree with you, lady. I agree with Lamb's mom. That needs to go. I agree with you. But you see, that's why I don't post this kind of stuff and stuff like that, because you know what, it hurts your team either way. Because negative, you get how to give positive reinforcement, positive feedback, to constructive, constructive.
Maybe she said this as a Dallas Cowboys fan, not for her son.
I guess not. No, I mean she definitely didn't want. It's just she sees our frustration.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith pretty much points it out every time the Cowboys lose. But...
that guy. And then he's backing up Dak.
Yeah.
Then he's backing up Dak.
Yeah.
Then like what?
¿Quién te entiende? Like
wow. Okay, you know what, bro? Put on your little boots and boot out of here.
You're a closet Cowboys fan.
Deep down inside they see he's always wearing blue.
He wants them to win. He wants them to win.
He even sees little sunshine, little smile every time they win.
But you know what? On to the top team of Texas football.
Oh, calm down there, boy. There's no games won.
Unveiled their new uniforms.
Oh, I heard about that. I didn't see them though. I did not see them.
They are crisp.
I gotta see them.
Yes, Chris rocking the red and blue.
That's good.
And the H, baby, H Town.
Yeah, that's good. That's nice.
And also they dare Unga Nobel. I can't. You know what? I'm gonna say Dare O because I don't want to butcher your name, man. But you know what? They gave him another year contract. Well deserved because he performed great. And I feel that the Texans this year they're gearing up to be a dominant team.
I mean, first things first. I mean, they did what they needed to do, and just keep that line, have backups for those linemen because you need to protect your quarterback.
They've been fine tuning, and even at that, the draft picks, the draft sections that they have, it's understandable for the kind of players that they got for this upcoming season. I'm already saying upcoming season like it's going to start next week, but because I wish it already did.
Well, I mean, draft already is going to start. I mean, it's almost there. I mean, they're already coming back to practice almost like voluntary practice. Yeah. I mean, honestly, with the draft picks with Houston, what they did with what's it called? The free agencies, I think they did well enough. Focus on your defense.
Yeah, pretty much that's how I would focus on. Focus on the defense when it comes to
I would draft only defensive players. Focus on that deep threat.
Yeah.
Maybe the line. Save the linebackers maybe for next season.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But all I can say is when it comes to football in Texas, the Houston Texans are on top. And I am proud to say that. That's for sure.
What did they go to the Eiffel Tower?
They're doing what Jerry Jones said the Cowboys were going to do. They're all in. Apparently, the Texans are like, you know what? Guess what?
Well, I'll tell you much. I'll tell you this much. Yes, they're all in because they look like they are gonna be like this.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. You're a diehard Cowboys fan, and you like the Texans because Texas team. I understand that. But let me ask you this: the Texans have done a better job signing players than the Cowboys have.
Yeah, well,
you gotta admit that. Admit that.
This season, yeah. This season, I agree. Yeah. This season, I agree. I on paper, they're ready to go. On paper, they're ready to go. I'm just saying, like. What's it called? We'll see.
I like how you said on paper.
On paper.
I like how you said, let's see how they do this season. But on paper, apparently they're going to.
Hey, talking from experience, just like the Cowboys, the last couple of 3 seasons, the last 3 seasons on paper, too. We had the dominating rosters.
Yeah.
I mean, rosters to win Super Bowls twice over. by 50, 60 points on paper. I mean, you looked at it, everybody loved and wished they would have our roster past the three last past years. You know what I mean? That's why I say on paper.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's go ahead and make sure that paper looks as good as it does on the field. But I mean, the good job, yes, they're doing a great job. And their coaching. Their coach is just phenomenal. So I agree he's gonna do good. I'm really keeping an eye on CJ. I'm gonna be honest with you. My biggest focus this season is on CJ more than any player right now, because this is the year. Like I said, year two. Year two is the one that shows what kind of a quarterback, how good of a quarterback, and how much talent that quarterback has.
Okay.
I feel like this year. I'm and not only me. I feel like all eyes are going to be on CJ. They got film on him now. They know how he plays. Everything, and it's gonna depend on him and how the pressure too that the team's gonna fall on him.
See, but you know what I mean. Here's the thing, though. I agree with you on that, and I feel that that's why they tweak more the offensive line. They tweak the offensive line more because come on, it's obvious. He is a clutch quarterback. He is what Dak wishes he was.
Oh, that's why I wish. Every team wishes that they had a CJ. Every team. I mean, there's very few teams that would say no. I'm good with my quarterback. I mean, honestly, I could I would say only. The Chiefs would say that probably. Maybe Bills, maybe Bengals. But in all honesty, almost every other team would say the same.
Now, don't get me wrong. I am a Cowboys fan. I am a Cowboys. I was a Cowboys fan before I was a Texans fan. Honestly, thought the Texans were kind of like a punchline at one point. But you know what? This last season with CJ and the way that team played, despite injuries that happened and all that, made me a fan. They made me a fan, and to me, they showed me that they are a threat. And even at that, they weren't considered But now with the way they armed up with the offensive line, who they signed as well as defensive, they are a threat to be reckoned with.
Just be careful, because also what's it called with the previous quarterback, Texans have a tendency of, I don't know why they let go of them. I doubt they'll do it with CJ. I really doubt it. I really would. I really doubt it. I really do. But I mean, they've really they butchered their last quarterback. So they need to go ahead and be smart about it.
Although in the Texas defense, that there are a lot of controversy surrounding that last quarterback.
Yeah, but I felt that they could have handled that situation a lot better. And
that's the player in his PR team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I mean, they really let him go, and I don't know. I feel like they could have handled that a lot better. But nonetheless, they're here again, and they have another quarterback, and I will say. I just hope they don't repeat the same mistake after this year, because just remember again, that's gonna be this. This is not the season that they need to be careful with. Next season, they're gonna have to they've signed a whole bunch of 1 year contracts. One year, one season. Next year, they're gonna have to pay up, and that's gonna be the hard part. So next season, they're gonna have to go ahead, and that's they're gonna have to go and see who they're gonna keep, who they're gonna let go, and if they're gonna have to let go of anybody, even though they don't want to. That's gonna be I think that's gonna be Houston's biggest problem, and they should already be working on it, the office staff, for next year, or try to come up with that cap, because you know what I mean.
I'm pretty sure they will. It depending to see how well they do this upcoming season, and I'm confident that they will. They will perform. They will make that paper, and they will earn that money, because the Texans, they're that darn good.
They need to get their stuff off of sale.
Oh man,
they need to get their stuff out of the clearance. All right, take it off the clearance, even though put it back at $20. We need that paper.
This guy. Well, it's time for our favorite part of our show. May I get a drum roll, Don Freddy? This is ese es mijo o ponte pilas, pilas, pilas. An award ceremony here that we like to give at Tailgate, where pretty much the team that's choking gets an earful from us, and those that are doing great get the thumbs up and praise.
There's not much to go on because everybody's already. I think the Mavericks are the only one, and the Astros.
And to tell you right now, guys, it's been rough because pretty much a lot of people like they need to ponte pilas, but like we narrowed it down. We narrowed it down. And I would like to say, can I get a drum roll for Ponte Pilas? The one that need to Ponte Pilas is the Houston Astros. And you know my reasons why.
Yeah, tough to say. It's hard to say that, but yes, they need to go ahead and get it back on that horse. Come on, so
Exactly. I understand injuries are happening. I understand that. But come on, man. Don't call up guys that are too green and they can't perform yet on the main stage. I understand that you want to give them time. You know, some, as they say, some guile, you know, like to get that pitching arm going or how the majors are. You know what? Wait until you're at double digits, you know, like double digits and a little bit of losses. Then bring up guys. Other than that, don't be going when you're at 7-16. And I hope tonight that JP France can perform well enough to bring a dub, because those two losses to the Nationals shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't have happened. And for that, ponte pilas, the Houston Astros, because honestly, that's not the team that you're known for. Yeah, the article that says it's on their last dance, well, guess what? Maybe they are, and they're stepping all over their feet. And you know what? They need to change something because it's abysmal the way they've been playing.
Okay, that's not fair. The last dance. Okay, that everybody always talks stuff to us.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah. No, that little cheeky article that said they're on their last dance.
Come on.
Yeah, if they are, which
they're
honestly,
not.
They're not. I know it's early in the season, but like if they are, they're stepping on their own 2 feet.
Let me ask you this though. One question regarding that before we move on to the next award.
Yeah.
What if you had a chance? Where would you put him to pitch, and what would be your?
I would put him as I wouldn't put him as a starter. I wouldn't. Like, don't get me wrong. JP France is a great pitcher, yeah. Although he's had a rough start of the season. I understand some family stuff has happened. Maybe his head ain't in the game. You know, he just had he had just a new kid, which congratulations. But at the same time, like, hey man, your team needs you as well too. I understand your family, but your team needs you as too. That's your job. You know what I mean? If you're not performing well at your job, you think they're gonna want you?
Yeah, it's gonna affect your family nonetheless.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not talking smack of the family. No. Like, just tweak up the pitching game.
Yeah,
because I know you have it in you.
When you're on the mound, focus.
Yeah.
It might be hard.
Yeah, and it might be the pitching clock. You know what? Like, I'm not even gonna make excuses. They've been sucking. All right, they've been sucking, and you know what? Ponte pilas, 7-16, abysmal. Get your act together, Astros.
Well, let's see tonight. Hopefully, they can go ahead. And get that.
Hopefully, beat the Cubs.
Yeah,
beat the Cubs. You have it in you. Beat the Cubs.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, to make ourselves feel better,
I love that.
The Esos Mico Award goes to Victor Wembanyama. That's right. That's right. I said the San Antonio Spurs. Victor Wembanyama had an amazing rookie season. He ended it with 1,502 points, 755 rebounds, 274 assists, 254 blocks, and 128 3-pointers. Yeah, boy, that's what I'm talking about. The Spurs got themselves a diamond that they need to build around, because this season has been rough. But you know what? It's about winning the battle. Yeah, they lost the war, but they won the battle. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That guard will be a nice addition.
Yeah, hopefully they get somebody or a free agency. But you know what? Hey, the ball's in their court. They're gonna get something.
Yeah, they need. I mean, they're gonna have everything they want.
Even though for the Coke Popovich, this wasn't a losing season. Wink. Yeah.
Sure. Bob.
Yeah. Well, whoever they get when it comes to picks, I hope they get somebody great, and hopefully Rob Dillingham is one of them, or LeBron James' son.
Mm-hmm. You never know.
Yeah. Well, guys, that wraps up another great and blood pressure filled episode of Tailgate 956. Once again, I'm Rene Garza Jr.
And I'm Freddie Guevara.
And we'll see you at the next tailgate.